The Lusitani are an interesting sort of faction with its noticeable weaknesses and highly noticeable strengths, originating from the Portuguese sort of lands, really. Their main weaknesses is obviously the lack of distinct armor, with the highest being 45 on their melee infantry, and I don't know about spears, because Lusitani spears isn't that good. Which also brings me along to another point. Spears are subpar. The spears aren't very good. Other weaknesses include the lack of archers, or a very cheap, low tier. The strengths would include excellent slingers, some specialty in guerrilla deploy, extremely high damage, lots of javelins, especially on their low tier, the Iberian swords, and good charge bonus, defense, good combat stats, really. Really good combat stats. I think it's like 75 on the vet shields. Or was that it might be the noble for that. I don't know. It's one of those two. Either way, really good combat stats, really low armor. Very risky faction to play, though once steel units do rack up those kills, it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be hard. Lusitani is very good against factions like Sparta, as their high AP and lots of ammunition on the slingers can tear up the Spartans, alongside the high damage, high charge, good defense of the Lusitani mainline. And to finish off their cavalry, it's okay. Like, the Iberian cav isn't good. The Cantabrian cav, whatever the hell you call it. It's not very good, but at least it's got high missile damage, and Scutari cav is okay for its needs. And now I shall go warm up on the plains in the Macedon. So the Iberian swordsman is who we'll kick off with, being their lowest cost unit at 350. I have mixed feelings about them. They have 5 volleys of javelins that are untargetable, so for the late game, when they're out of ammo, it's very, very good. They have really good melee defense, okay charge, okay offensive stats, decent morale, negative survivability, really. Like, they have no good block chance, though they do have loose spacing, along with a lot of Lusitani units, which tries to help counteract that low armor. But these guys, you can send them in early, rather than get shot. Just save them late for the Javies, which can be a real game changer. Unlike the Phareos, their javelins are 32 damage, 12 AP, rather than the Phareos 9 AP, 29 damage. Overall, on attack, you definitely bring them. On defense, you'd only bring a few of them, I think. That's my opinion. I'd rather go for more vet shields, because you can get 2 of these guys for 1 vet shield, and the vet shields are just so good. So, moving on. Lusitani Swordswomen. The female version. Sacrificing health and charge bonus and javelins to gain, and melee defense to gain frenzied charge, more mass, and more attack and morale. And they cost them more. Cap at 6. I wouldn't be taking the Lusitani Swordswomen anytime soon. I don't like them. They are pretty much worse in combat. They lack javelins, they cost more. The frenzied charge is alright if you just want to hold somewhere, but even if he hits it to get the charge bonus, it's give it a minute. 13, and you did 5 melee defense. Like, really? Like, really? Like, it's not that good. Don't bring Lusitani Swordswomen. Bring the Lusitani Swordsmen. I'm not sexist, I promise. Scutari Spearman. It's shared with Aravachi. I don't really know about this unit. I've seen it brought once or twice in sieges. They're not that good. Low offensive stats, good cav counter, better survivability, good by Lusitani standards. Shields green, it's worth mentioning. 500, they're not a brilliant unit. You're getting what you pay for. But these sort of spear units I don't ever recommend. Just solely because, I mean, for these guys, I don't know when you'd bring them, except maybe land battle. I don't think they have a place in Siege, even against a faction like Pergamon, in which case why are you taking Lusitani to Pergamon? Unless you have a Death Wish. Like, these guys want to save you, they're not survivable either. But their stats are overall okay, just the attack is low. You could try, use them. They do have Javies, but I still don't think they're worth it. Moving on to their 2 Guerrilla units, so instead of doing it by price here, I've done it a bit, these guys a bit cheaper. But I just felt like putting 2 Guerrilla units next to each other made sense. So Lusitani Guerrillas, which is their Phareos-like unit. These guys have 5 volleys of targetable peeler. Awful offensive stats, awful charge, amazing defense. Only for 400. They got Guerrillas applying Stalk. They're pretty good, but I won't bring any more than 2. The Javs are nice. Treat them like a Phareos, like a Guerrilla deploy Phareos with like no armor. They could serve you well, but it's remains to be seen. I've tried, but it's hard to like keep them alive once they're spotted, because against enemy cav they suck. It's hard to keep them alive, really. But if they can somehow sneak up on the enemy, or like go deploy them in front of the barb city's walls, you know, sling down to the Blarix, you could be in for a good day. Only for 400, pretty cheap. Moving on to the more expensive counterpart, the Guerrilla Warriors, 650. That's, you know, covered so far. 27 charge bonus, excellent. Good offensive stats, really good defense, and once again the common trait of no survivability. Once again, the Guerrilla deploying Stalk. These guys will go toe-to-toe with certain mid-tier like 4-acts. They got really good on the charge. The problem is staying alive. Once again, these guys don't stay alive. 1 volley of archer ammo and you're probably going to drop about at least 10. Then the next one, another 10, then more. Just HP damage. You can mess around with them, though for 50 more you can get the Veteran Shield, which is really a conundrum. Do you want better stats or Guerrilla Deploy, really? Overall, you can have some fun with this unit. These guys will keep in combat, unlike the Lusitani Guerrillas. These are the Guerrilla Warriors. Shared with Aravachi. They can be useful. The Veteran Shield Warriors, the mid-tier of the Lusitani roster. For 700, you're getting 30 survive charge bonus, and I was right, 75 defense. No survivability, that's just a tiny bit better. Really good morale, really good attack, 6 AP on that weapon. They use the Copis weapon. Yep, this is shared with the Royal Peltus. These guys eat alive literally anything they touch. Hoplites don't do well against them. Against factions like Lusitani, you want to be using factions like Pergamon or RDI. Well, less so RDI, more so Pergamon. Pontus is alright too. Though once you're out javelins, you might be in some trouble. Yeah. Veteran Shields, always at least 7, possibly 8. Lusitani is a primarily defensive faction. Though on attack it can work on some maps because you have to shoot everything of Lusitani, and the things you don't shoot are going to do a lot of damage. So, Veteran Shields, highly rate them. The Hoplite Killers is the name of Lusitani, really. Against, if you see Sparta, Lusitani can do a lot of damage, supported by a faction like Bactria. For those more sturdy infantry and heavy archers. Lusitani Spearmen is a unique unit to Lusitani, an upgrade from the Scutari Spearmen, though less survivability. They maintain that good morale and good defense. Okay charge, lower offensive stats once again, and it's a spear unit of shield screen and have counter. I don't recommend it. For the same price as better Vet Shield, you're going to get the Vet Shield. There's no point to bring this unit, even in land battles, I don't think. Bring the Vet Shields. This unit is not that good. Seriously. Lusitani Nobles, the most aggressive elite in the game for 1200. They have 64 attack, 77 defense, 32 charge. The Copis weapon of 6 AP. Exceptional morale. Poor survivability, but they get headhunt. So, overall, I do recommend them. Always get... They're your own general option, so you're going to get... Always going to have one. Is it worth bringing 2? On attack, it's tempting, but not on defense. On attack, I recommend a more numbers build, though you can experiment. Lusitani Nobles will eat alive other elites pretty easily, though they will fall away faster due to the lower armor. Moving on to the missile section. Look at the Iberian Skirmishers and Iberian Slingers. Iberian Skirmishers are like your standard low-tier Javelin for 290. They're slightly more pricey. They're not anything more impressive than a Celtic Youth. or Breathing Assault. They have the same stats as a low tier skirm, but they have 32 damage, so, if you need extra javies, you can bring them. I've brought them, they're quite useful. Liberian Slingers for 280, half the price of the Balearics. Standard Slinger, 25 armor. Lower block chance than the Celtic Slinger, I'd like to imagine. You don't want to bring them unless you're bringing one just to save some funds for something. Like the Balearics. Or not even the Balearics, for infantry. Balearics, second best Slinger in the game. Probably the most cost effective, and so they've didn't invest. But, Rhodians are 5 more HP. 560, you almost always bring 4 of them. Quick reload. 8 AP on their 25 ammo. These guys are phenomenal. Always bring the Balearic Slingers, never any other skirmisher. Except an extra Iberian skirm. I don't think Iberian Slings are worth it when you have Balearics. I pay the extra price. Cantabrian Cav for 500. Yeah, a lot of melee defense for some reason. You do get high damage Jav Cav, you can use to be annoying. These guys will kill stuff like Companion Cav if they get their ammo off, but that's the problem if they're extremely fast, like so. And I'll show you. Okay, if you leave them fire at will and just have a patrol near Companion Cav, then nothing's really catching them. They're just way too fast to be caught. You can see how fast they are. Like, don't mess with the Cantabrian Cav. You want something to take the shots for you. They're extremely damaging. The 2 melee Cav they have, Iberian Cav, I'll skim over. Light Cav, not worth it. That's a general rule of thumb. Scutari Cav, if you're doing a sally out on defense, 1 or 2 of these guys to stop enemy Cav from breaking through your lines as you have a shield wall. It's sufficient. They have frenzy charge. At medium, they will kill some stuff. The overall stats are pretty good. For 680, they're not that bad. Frenzy charge to keep them alive. Overall, a fairly decent Cav unit. Medium mass means it's less impactful than something like Heavy Horse. They cost less though, and their overall stats are pretty good. You only need to be used defensively though, to protect infantry, protect your rear lines. If the faction like Parthia smashes through your front line. Overall, Lusitani, it focuses on the aggressiveness of their infantry, the high damage they do from range, but they need to be paired with a good archer faction to support them, something like sturdy infantry. Good combination would be Bactria, Galatia, or Athens. Lusitani is very strong if it can manage to do that, sally out, full sally. You smash into the enemy, you can do a lot of damage, but it can get very wrong as well. Inside, it's risky, but it can work. But let me know what you think. And yeah, next time I believe will be Macedon.